Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where y'all at, man. Where's my people at? Where's Derek? Where's Lala? Lala D? Sir Flame, where y'all at? Y'all need to be coming in. Y'all need to be coming through and seeing what's up on this Friday, man. This is why the heat, but hey, I'm here. I need to talk about these little beefs and stuff. I gotta talk about my beefs with some of these people. Y'all stop running in and out of the house, man. Sit down, close the door. Got people coming in and out. It's all good though. Whichever way it go, that's the way it go. Cause it's cool. It's good when it's like this because I can just do my little short rant, and vent. I can do my venting, and I'm good. So all I need to do is get my venting out the way. It's not really venting. It's just I don't know why people just uh, I can't respond to certain things. You know what I mean? If I respond to certain things, then people just lose it. They get so upset about if you respond to certain stuff. It's like, why are you getting so upset? They get so mad. Like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? People get so upset about fighters and stuff. Like, if they have a favorite fighter, they get so mad at you if their fighter doesn't fight a fighter that you want to beat their fighter, or you just saying it. I mean, because I don't give a shit. I mean, if I ain't got no money on it, I don't care, man. If you making me some money, then I get excited. Then I get hyped with you. But if I ain't got no money, I ain't really getting hyped. Every once in a while I do this, but sometimes I got to the point where I'm actually tired of doing it. I'm tired of like, I'll still go for my, uh, I'll still go for my underdogs and stuff. I'll still do that. I'll still look for a Cinderella story. I'll still do that. Like if there's a Cinderella story, I'll look for that. You know what I mean? But if it's not, I don't know. I probably won't even get too excited about it. Just like why get too excited about it? If it's not really a Cinderella, what I'm saying? If it's not really that type of a story, why am I gonna get too excited about it? Because I want the stories where, everybody uh, is expecting the opposite to happen. And with some of these fighters, it's not expected that the opposite happens. There's nobody that we don't have. There's no fighters right now that we look at as being like a success story, as far as like the underdog is just constantly going showing people wrong. Everything that's usually happening in boxing uh, is more or less expected, except for Ngannou. I can still look at him as a Cinderella story. I still want to go with him. I don't know, just to shake up things. People will get so mad. Oh, Tyson Fury got such a great skill set, this and that. They get mad at you or whatever. I don't care. I'm still gonna go with. I'll still go Wilder, even if Wilder gets knocked completely out the ring. I don't care. I'll go with Ngannou. I don't know, but you don't know shit about boxing. So what? So I'm going with certain people because that's what I want. I'm not going with people because I really, that I really have so much belief in them. I don't believe nothing. I don't like to even use that word, belief, because you're being a lie. Belief. I ain't trying to leaf on that. I'm trying to know. Um, but I'm not really. Boxing is not that. It's not that really impressive. So that's why we get impressed so easy now because boxing is not impressive. So that's why we get so impressed because it's not impressive. So we get really impressed with boxing because it's not. It's just boxing is not. It's just not that impressive right now. We got some fighters coming up. some unorthodox fighters. I don't know. I'm not gonna bandwagon them, or if they start doing real well, they start getting their record up there, then I'll start getting more excited. Hopefully, I'll get excited. And I don't really care about you. You got this high skill set, but you're not fighting nobody. All right, then I don't really care about you as much. Oh, yeah, he's just the greatest boxer, but you ain't make. But you're in business. You're a horrible business person. You're a wonderful, great boxer, but you might as well just sit at home. All the money you're making, you're just spending. Get your brain. If you get cracked or something, get your brains knocked out. Then what? Now all that money goes on health care. If that, and you're gonna run out of money. We've seen that happen to fighters. We still got a fighter right now that's clinging, that's hanging on, that just more or less a vegetable. So clean boxing, you get yours in, they get theirs in like that there, but not landing like, if you get landed, say for instance, like 30, 40 heavy shots during the fight, that's too much. Like I don't mind. I don't mind watching like a chess match or something like that, as long as it's a good chess match. Because you can have boring chess matches like what the hell is this? Where they just sit there the whole time not throwing no punches. No, and we just had fights like that, and then people want to make up the excuses. Oh, this person didn't engage. Well, look, you got to change your boxing still. You got to change your boxing up. If the person doesn't engage, if they don't engage, it's your turn. That's why you're there. But we'll get into the discussion, and I'll tell you what's on my mind in a little bit. But it's just the arguments with fanboys and fangirls and stuff like that. And so I'll get more specific. But now so the generalization is that a lot of these fanboys and fangirls, that they love their fighters so much. So they love their fighters so much that they climb over the fence, swim across the pool, walk across the sand, go over another fence, go across the ocean, climb over a mountain, go through the forest, and take a boat across the stream, go up some more woods, go down to another beach, hit the lake, go out in the middle of the lake, and then make claims that have nothing to do with what you're talking about. You talking about moving the goalposts? No, worse than that. I'm just like, every time if I make a comment about somebody, like if I say that a fighter is one way or something like that, and not fighting certain fighters, then somebody will come back and they'll say, well, what about this fighter and that fighter? They'll just leave the subject, like they don't want nothing to do with the subject anymore. And it make me just look off into space like, what are you talking about? It's like, what the hell are you talking about today? Well, you're looking, you got me effed up, man. Got me to the point where I got to look off. So I'm like, what are you trying to say? It's like, dude, for real? For real, for real? For real, for real, for real? It's like, it's crazy. The way that they, that they actually will bring up stuff, bring up fighters that have nothing to do with what you're talking about. And I really don't care. I can say what I want to say. You can say what you want to, but stay on the subject. But don't get mad at me and think that you're the prognosticator of all times now. that you're the predictor, you know everything about it. I don't know. I don't because I don't. I'll say I don't know nothing. You know, even though who doesn't know anything? You couldn't talk if you didn't know anything. So that's kind of like a play for people to, and sometimes it's a setup for people to say, "You right, you don't know shit, you don't know nothing." It's for sensitive people. So that's a lot of times why I say that, and I always give everybody credit. Like one thing, you'll never see if you say something or whatever. A lot of times I won't agree with it, but sometimes but I always I respect your opinion. You see, I don't get that from people all the time, but I'm not sensitive to the point where I give a damn a lot of times. But what makes me, what Lala said, what grinds her gears, what grinds my gears is when people change the whole subject up. That has nothing to do with, like I'm saying that so the the object or whatever, the direct point of the subject is completely ignored, and you start talking about something else. You know what I mean? Just because if I'm talking about fighters and I'm talking about two specific fighters, and you just bring up a whole nother fighter that has nothing to do with it, then why are you bringing up this fighter? That's not even what we're talking about. It's not the subject. You think because we're talking about boxers that boxing is the subject? No. Boxing is not the subject. You know? Because boxing, if you think about it, boxing is kind of a screwed up word. Because boxing is the action. Think about it. We're talking about the action, but you're not talking about the action. So make that make sense. So boxing is the action. I'm boxing. Boxer is the individual. Boxers are the individuals. It's not like a team, and yes, they're on a team. But people just don't get that, and they get so mad, and they start bringing up all kinds of other stuff. It's like I just don't get it. Sometimes I'll catch my own self up in it, up in the arguments and stuff. Not like really an argument, but I'll catch myself up in it just because I feel like it, because I just want to get on somebody's nerves. You know what I mean? But it's like I'll just do it, but that's not me. As far as like getting in, getting like way off the topic or something. Yes, I'm trolling or something. I'm just sometimes I like to mess with my crew because they pick on me all the time though. The people that come in here, they're gonna pick on Ego anyway. So Ego I got to get my get back every once in a while. So to tell you what happened, so I after the show, the last show, is I ended up. I went to work. I went I went out of town to do work somewhere, just to find out that I was early. So I just didn't do it. I'm like, okay, I'll come back. But what I did is I had all, so what I did is I left all my stuff there. So that way I could take off the next day. When I was scheduled to work, I can go in late, I can go enjoy um, dinner before I went in and all that. So that's what I did. Went and got me some pizza. Pizza is so expensive. I didn't know pizza was so expensive. Do you have personal pizzas? I don't know where you guys get pizza at. I don't usually eat that stuff because it got cheese. I don't really mess with cheese and all that. But they have fresh tomatoes on it. I just get the margarita anyway. But if you get the margarita, they don't have no kind of substitute. Like, oh, that's what I'll do next time. Now, with the margarita, it was a vegetable pizza. So what I do, I'll ask if they can. They'll probably get mad though. Yeah, they'll probably get mad, but I'll ask them if they could put shredded zucchini. Ask them, is there a way that they can shred vegetables or they don't? So I use the shredded vegetables instead of the cheese, that little bit of cheese that's on there, and that's gonna go down better. That's gonna be packed with a lot more nutrients from me. Yep. No. Got people calling me from all kinds of countries and stuff, and I don't get it. I don't know if you guys get that, but I get people calling me from different countries now. At first, it was just people from unknown telephone numbers that were in the states. But now I get calls from Africa. I get calls from, where's the last one? England, Sweden, damn, South America. I get calls from, and then I know people, so I'm like, okay, I better answer. Then I answer, and then they start asking me about. They say, "Is this such and such?" And I tell them, "Hey, I don't know you." I said, "I've never." I said, "We've never spoken before." And they say, "Oh yeah, yeah," but this is in referring to. I don't even let them get the words out. It's like, you know, I'm gonna hang up on you because I'm gonna let you almost start to run your mouth and start saying stuff because I know my information is compromised, so I don't have no problem with that. I don't care. People get all excited when somebody steals their identity and all that. If you steal my identity, you ain't nothing but a thief. Why would you steal a person with the rarest name, probably the one of the rarest names on earth? Why would you try to steal their identity? I don't get it. It's like you're stupid. It's like whatever you do, I'm gonna fight it and win. Just stupid, dumb, dumb. Using my name in another country or whatever. It's like, yes, hello, yeah. I've always won. My bank always gives me my money back, so I don't even know why do you even do it? Why waste your effort? Because that's what it's going to end up being. It's going to be a wasted effort. Yep. Because I am going to win. Yeah, I'm just going up. I'm doing mail and stuff. Still waiting for my people anyway. So I don't like to be. I don't like to talk about the things I want to talk about as much to be too detailed or too specific. Only because uh, I had to go over it again, and I don't want to go over it again. I want to go over it once, one time, and that's it. Go over it once, but we can talk about it. That's the difference. I'm sitting here thinking. I'm feeling kind of like a baller right now. I'm a baller right now. I just feel like it. I do. I feel like I feel like I'm a baller now because
Wellness pet food is vet recommended for your
really,
pets.
really, you gonna get all loud on me. There's always so much outside. There's always so much construction. But I could actually right now, I can hear some birds out there, and people are saying that birds aren't real. They're showing that all the birds are all robots now, drones or whatever, and they charge themselves by standing on power lines. And it kind of looks like that sometimes. I just see this weird stuff. Like I seen this. I watch these videos. I don't know if they edit in these videos or not. But a person is walking around. I mean, they call these chickens, and the chickens start to come over, and then they all just freeze, and the person is still walking around. And you can see stuff in the background moving, but they're just frozen. And she was like, "What the f? What happened to the chickens?" I'm like, and I'm thinking the same thing. What happened to them chickens? That's crazy, crazy. A lot of these things you watch, and I'm very impressionable. I'm very impressionable because I didn't grow up with all this stuff. I didn't grow up with all the. I was, when they came out with these cell phones and all this stuff, I was already more or less. I was grown up already. I was a grown man. When they came out with all this stuff. So you got to think about a lot of these kids are just turning 18, 16. I would say 16. They think they're grown at 15 now. Until something happens to them, then they realize they're not grown anymore. So, but give me your thoughts though. Let's hear. From what I was just asking. I know you lost your place now. Like, what? So what are you talking about? But I'll say it again. I will say it again. So here it is specifically. So specifically, um, I've been getting in a lot of fights or disagreements with Shakur Stevenson fans. They love him so much that if you say anything about him, like if you say he had a boring fight or whatever like that, or you say anything about if you got Tank over him, ooh, they lose it. I mean, they really like lose it bad. They do. They lose it bad. If you say anything, if you got Tank over him, these people, they completely lose it. They don't like that at all. They get so mad. Oh, when he loses, when Shakur beats him, you guys gonna be crying just like what you did with Spence and Wilder. And so I just replied. I said, what? I said, what is Wilder and Spence got to do with two other boxers? What the hell they got to do with them? People always like. I noticed the Shakur fans always talk about other fighters. They never talk about Shakur. They always talk about what other fighters did. That's crazy, crazy. Ah, ah. But that's what I was bringing up earlier. What does other fighters have to do with, like, a certain fighter? Especially when they're not even in the same weight class. That's crazy to think about. I got to talk about fighters in a whole different weight class to avoid talking about the fighter that I'm going for. That is really like that's crazy, crazy to talk about that. Yeah, I'm so mad. I'm so mad because you're talking bad about Stevenson because he is that guy. Nah, he's not that guy until he fights until he makes his money. So you got to realize this whole thing. We'll talk about this again, and I got to keep explaining this to people. I got to explain this to people over and over again that this whole game, this whole thing is prize fighting. He needs to be going to get his prize, and if he doesn't want to get the best prize, or if he can't get the best prize, then how could he be the best prize fighter? Then you can just go talk about boxing. Oh, he's just a great boxer. They're gonna short him. He's not gonna get the. You know what you're gonna cry about? I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna cry about now, and then I bring up other fighters. You're gonna cry. This is something that's applicable when you talk about this. You're gonna cry about him not getting certain fights later when he retires, because he already talking about retiring. So you're gonna cry about that he didn't get this fight, he didn't get that fight. But you gotta go back and listen to his words. Boxing is soft. Well, just accept the offers that you were given and show us how soft boxing is. Just blow by all these guys that are soft. Just blow them out the water, like the Frank Martins and all that. Blow them out the water. Tank Davises and Haney's and all. Just blow them out the water and then retire. That's 3 fights right there. Blow those 3 out the water and just say, "Oh, this boxing's too soft." Just say it's a wrap. It's soft. It's nothing. Do that then. But don't come running in hollering about how soft something is. And then at the same time, you acting softer than what the boxing is, than what you're saying boxing is. And your fans are going to act even softer. They're going to bring up all kinds of fights. Oh, what about Tyson Fury and Wilder? And what about Errol Spence and Bud? How long is that fight going to keep resonating in people's mind? The Bud Earl fight. It's a fight that he won in a great fashion. That's it. He got people act like that was the greatest fight of all times. Go back and look at some of the old fights, man. Look at Ali Frazier in Manila. If you want to see a great fight with people, guys that are heavyweights, just slinging leather and stuff like that. Look at Lyles versus Schaefer's. God, hey, look at some of these fights where even Jerry Cooney versus Frazier, where Corey was knocked out. I think I said Cooney. But anyway, when Corey was knocked out and then continued fighting, just look at some fights like that. Where you getting fighters just brawling, and not you don't even have to go way back there. What was our last fight where they was actually just throwing hands? Like, God dang, it's going back and forth, they throwing hands. We just getting all these one-sided fights, but then you want us to get excited over a fighter. This is what you want us to do. You want us to get excited over a fighter that his last fight, he was boring at best. At best, he was boring. Yeah, people saying they was falling asleep on the fight. They wouldn't even pay attention. No, I can almost guarantee you that boxing fans that's not necessarily a fan of either fighter, they're just boxing fans. I guarantee you they didn't see every round of that fight, every minute of that fight. I can guarantee you that. And I can guarantee you that a lot of Shakur Stevenson's fans did not see the whole fight. Did not see every minute of that fight. It's not like it was a Mike Tyson fight where you can't miss 1 second of it. It's, you know what I mean? How many people of Shakur Stevenson, how many of your fans, how many could rewatch that fight over and over again and not get bored? Since you're a great fan of his, how many of y'all could just watch that fight over and over again? Just like the Lopez last fight. How many of y'all could just actually watch that fight over and over again? How many could? There's nothing spectacular in there where you can watch over and over. It's not like, so you talk bad about Wilder, and I know that's my Cinderella guy. But people talk bad about him. But I guarantee you, when he fought Brazil, I guarantee you, I was looking at that knockout over and over again. Y'all was like, God dang. I guarantee you watched it more than once. Oh, yeah, y'all, he's a scrub. He's a bum. He ain't nothing. Nah, you didn't say that. Or even if that was coming out your mouth, you still was impressed with the way that he planted that guy. If not, you just straight up on some hate. Okay, so let me get into this. Why I think I'm a baller. In case y'all come through. But this is why I think I'm a baller right now. I'm feeling like, hey, I'm a baller. And the reason I feel like I'm a baller because I went and got this Charger. And the Charger has percentage on it. Like, I was going to, because I just got it now, I was going to go charge it up. I said, let me charge this up because I know they probably don't have full power when you get them. But it was on full power. And not because of the lights. It's because this one actually tells you the percentage of charge that it has. Now that I know, I probably won't charge it all the way back up to 100 again, but I will charge it up to 99. You shouldn't charge anything up. Don't charge anything up to 100. Charge it up anywhere from to 95 to 98. I like to go 99, but 98. Don't ever charge anything up because usually if you charge it all the way up to 100, it's actually overcharged at that point. And that's why it wears down. Especially when it comes to iPhones. Charge those iPhones only up to like 90 something, like 95. Anything. Just charge anything up to 95. If it's something that's cheap and you don't care about it, yeah, charge it up to 100. But most things don't charge them all the way up. Just 97, that's high enough. 98, that's high enough. 95, that's high enough. This anything over mid 90 is you're good. You know what I mean? Because you never hit that 100, then it's always going to charge. You're always going to be able. You should always be able to hit 95. It makes you feel good about whatever you're charging up. But if you charge something and it takes forever and it never hits 100, you know that it's probably ruined. But if you've only been going to 95 and you can always hit 95, then you're good. You know, just a little bit of advice. A little bit of advice. And plus, I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to stay here as long because I'm just hoping. With me, I'm just hoping that we get the fights that we should get. And right now, it just seems like we're just not getting the fights. I mean, we should, but we're not. Yeah. Yeah, but we got Keith Thurman coming up, so we should be getting some more fights. I didn't pay attention to anything over the for the most part. Lately, I haven't been watching too many fights or nothing like that because of work. You know, I've been having to make up for all this work. So I'm finally ahead of the game. So I can start catching back up. A lot of people are just they saying, you know, just watch the UFC. Boxing. At least most sports, when they say that there's going to be a certain fight or whatever, we get that fight. You know what I mean? We get not just the fight, but we get whatever we're going to get. Like, if it's in a different discipline, we get the fight. Like UFC or whatever it might be, we get the fight. But when it comes to boxing, we don't get the fights. When it comes to football, basketball, all these other sports, we get the fights. We get the matches. We get the event. With boxing, everything's always up in the air. Everybody wants to like hide everything, and I don't like that. I mean, and I'm not necessarily a fan of like the trainers like Calvin Ford and all that. I'm not really y'all's fan like that. But when you guys say that you got something that comes up, you got something that's coming up, a fight that's coming up, and we're gonna be happy with the decision. You don't know us. Who the hell tell you that you knew us and you knew that we were gonna be happy with the decision? We might not like the fight that's coming up. We'll see. If it goes good on pay-per-view, then you can say that they liked it. But if you bring a crap fight, you don't have to worry about my money at all. Because I will hold on to mine. Yeah. And here's another one that I'm hearing too. It's another thing that I'm hearing. I'm hearing that Jamel got stripped of his belts, and that's just recently. I don't know if you guys know about that. You know, I like to bring stuff up. So just bring up a few things that I've been scrolling past, and some of it I forget because I see some stuff I just want to go back and look. Like they had this little article with Red Fox and Muhammad Ali. And I like to just see him. I like to see Muhammad Ali play with celebrities and stuff like that. And plus, I was like a fan, if you want to call it, of Red Fox, Muhammad Ali, some of the old guys. People even before my time, I'm just a fan, just because they bring certain things to your life. Because like Malcolm X and all that, you should be some type of a fan. You might not agree with everything they said, and they still left a lot of things out of our histories and stuff. And so I really get confused because it's really hard to have like somebody that's concrete that you can really rock with, because I don't want to say they was deceiving, or maybe they just did their research. They didn't dig. And see, my thing is always now I'm starting to encourage people to go out and look for yourself. You can go in town and look. Maybe you don't have to go out. You might not have to go out into the woods and all that. You know what I mean? But what you can do is you just go in the city. Go look at some of the old stuff down. Just go downtown. Look at some of the old buildings and stuff like that. Look at the little metal plates they put on front of the building. See what it says. See when it was dedicated and how they, and then look at the construction. Look at the time period. Look at the construction, and then decide. Then let your own mind go into wonderment at how this happened when you were living in shacks. Why would you build things for the government that looks better than the things that you live in yourself? And for me, that still don't make sense. That a lot of our government buildings look better than the homes that we live in. I mean, the older homes. Yeah, I mean, but some of the older homes been here for hundreds of years. So their construction was perfect. It was just good. Some of the homes now I've seen like new apartment buildings go up and then go right back down. And that was a disaster. What happened? Was it Miami where they had that those condos that just collapsed? Dang. And it looked good. But they don't build that stuff to protect like the metals in there because of that ocean air and that salt and stuff that weakens the structures of the buildings. They don't think about that, and they're not going to say anything when they're building that building because it's safe now, because that's what they're thinking about. It's like the now factor. Like right now it's safe. Oh, nothing wrong with it. No. Oh, we can't predict what can go wrong. Yeah, you know what the hell can go wrong. Stop playing. These people pretend like they don't know what can go wrong. Yes, they know what can go wrong. They already know. Even if they pretend that you fell for it, they know what can go wrong. You know what I mean? Okay, so back. That's grown folks. Let's go back. So here's another thing came up a couple of days ago. Not these are just articles, things that pop up. The Lopez is supposed to be fighting Keyshawn Davis, maybe. But there's stipulations in that fight. I'm not going to look into find out what the stipulations is. I'm not really concerned with it. When it just hits the news, and I don't know what it is yet, then I don't care. I gotta wait until we know for a fact what we're gonna get. Huh? That's what I care about right there. Is when we really gonna get something. When we really gonna get it, let's talk. If we're not gonna get it, then I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. So don't try to get me to care about it, because I don't care. If we're just gonna talk and talk and talk about it, don't forget it. I want to be able to see it. What's happening? But we'll get it. And once we get it, we'll be good. Once we get it, then we're good. Once we get it. Once we start getting these fights, when these fights start rolling in, because everybody thought, so what was it? It was, was it Andrade that fought? And then everybody thought we was going to start getting fights. It was one fight that was supposed to set it off, and it didn't. Earl Spence Bud, that didn't set anything off. It just didn't. What's the other closest fight? Devin Haney. Nah, it didn't. It's not setting anything off. Devin Haney fought like so many people, and still nobody's following suit. Ryan Garcia versus Tank. Broly versus Tank. All these fights, Tank name is mentioned a lot. Um, Haney's name is mentioned a lot. A lot of these guys' names they're not mentioned at all. But we were thinking, even when it came to Jamel Charlo, stepping up, we were all thinking that, hey, let's get these fights going, and we just still not getting, we're not getting the fights. We're not getting the crossover fights, fighters from the MMA and all this other stuff. But we're just not gonna get, we're just not gonna get the fights that we need right now until there's a breakout fight to where fighters actually agree that yeah we need to get these fights done because of this fight and that fight, we need to get these fights. But we got so many people that's crying about every single little thing they just cry about, because if the fighter that they're going for, if they didn't fight, if they didn't get the accolades and the audience, then they get mad at a fighter that did get the accolades and a fighter that did get the audience. And I'm saying that, we got to deal with what we got to deal with. All these fighters we think is great, these fighters are not great. And there's no fighters that are just great right now. There's just none. Sorry. Even David Benavidez, he's not great. He's tough and he'll stand in there and fight, but he has yet to get really cracked, to get hurt. We never seen him fight hurt. And believe it or not, we seen Cotto hurt Canelo, and Canelo came back. I mean, he sucked it up. I mean, Canelo gives you time, which I'm not going to even get into that much. He gives you time to knock his ass out during the fight. Almost every fight he gets in, he'll give you a time where, he'll just bait you. He'll just sit there and let you pound on him. He got good defense, but he couldn't have done that against somebody who shoots straight hard shots, like somebody like a Hearns or something. He couldn't have done that. Just stand there and play possum, he would have went to sleep. But he's doing it with you fighters, and that's what makes him look so great. But you guys, if he's going to do that, somebody just needs to take advantage and say, okay, is that what you're doing? And, put some hard shots on him. Don't get yourself in too much. Don't look at it like he's not going to come back, but look at it like, hey, I'm going to conserve, but I'm going to bomb on him a little bit. Yeah. But Shakur versus, and another fight we're supposed to get is maybe Shakur versus Teofimo Lopez, if we can get that. They fighting in a place that I would want to go. If we're fighting in Honduras, I wouldn't mind going down there myself and see that. Just to be in Honduras. But the craziest thing is that these are all rumors, but we'll see what happens. Stevenson can beat him. I think he can beat him. I don't know if he'll win, but he can beat him. But that seemed like that'd be like a boring. I don't know. It seemed like it'd be kind of boring. It just seems like it'd be boring. Yeah. And then on top of that, what was the other one? Canelo's not supposed to be fighting Benavidez somehow. For what did he say? This is what I'm hearing. 55 million, and he's not. So Benavidez wants to fight up maybe 175, fight Bevo or Better BF or something. But we're going to see about that. If you're going to just move up and fight one of them guys is monsters up there. You're a monster, but you move up there and fight We're gonna see. Yeah, we're gonna see. Let's get on. If you're gonna do it, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you're gonna go up there and fight and win, you're really about that action. Let's go up there and get it done. But that's kind of I don't know. I'm watching all these little moves right here. It looks like it's a kind of a game that they're playing. It's like I don't know. Does Canelo want other fighters to get beat by certain fighters before he and then fight them? I don't know. I'm watching everything, so I'm not gonna sit there. It's not none of it's cut and dry for me. All right. But anyway, I had a chance to speak my mind on Friday Rap, and hopefully you guys will check it out. I might have to come back tomorrow and talk to y'all. Yep, I might have to come back and talk to y'all. But anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all the best for me. And thanks for the few people that came through and just, you know, you didn't stop, but you came by. Algorithm or whatever it might have been, you came by. Y'all know what it is, no matter what day it is, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Nothing but peace and nothing but uplifting. Let's go.